My name is Peter. I'm from Denmark, and I have a question for Mr. LaRouche. You have talked about all these green organizations and green policy being a policy of death. And I've heard some examples that it's because they are stopping and halting projects that would be very efficient to create food for people who are starving and such and such. But is there any more areas that you can elaborate on, or any fields of study that you could state so we can research it more?
Everything is safe if we have a management, a human management that does the things that make them safe. The point is, you cannot say that just leave it to the freedom. Mankind's experience is one of progress and despair. We have experienced in Europe, for most of European history, despair. Despair since the Roman Empire, despair earlier, again and again. Now, what happened in the history of mankind is that the point was reached after the Great Dark Age, where nothing was working. And under those conditions, around the Council of Florence, we had a development of a culture which is the beginning of all modern culture. That is, every bit of progress and survival of the human species has depended on the benefits launched by the people like Nicholas Vacusa. We are therefore obliged to understand how to increase the power of mankind's will and the power of mankind's intention to preserve humanity. For example, give the economic case. Many people say, well, it's economics. If we cheapen this and if we raise the price for that, this would make things work. But that's not true. It has never been true. The whole history of modern civilization, dating that from the great New Renaissance, there has always been a fight between the oligarchs, who are determined to suppress the intellectual development and of mankind, and the idea of being comfortable or being something else or being this or believing that. But we're still living in the United States to a certain degree, and in Europe, we're living under an oligarchical system, which wants to keep domination over the forces of production. And that's what the problem is. We must now progress.